The Framework Laptop 13 is arguably one of the best laptops on the market right now. Since I bought this laptop around half a year ago, you guys won't be able to see the unboxing of this thing, but I think that the laptop is beautiful enough that it'll keep you guys entertained while I talk about it. So, starting off with what came in the box, obviously you get the laptop. Pretty nice. 2 ports on this side, 2 ports on this side for a total of 4. You get your headphone jack. Very nice. I'm so glad they have a headphone jack on this one. You get your 60-watt power adapter with the power input from the wall on this side, your cute little Framework logo on this side and on this side, your USB-C out, and we have these 2 cords. There's this one, which is wall power and the adapter for the power brick. And then this one, which is USB Type-C to angled C, and that's a feature that I really do appreciate. Helps keep the cable out of the way when you're working. The laptop, if you order them, comes with these little cartridges. Type-C on one side, that's a male connector, and then a female Type-C on this side. And they just slide in like so. Boop. Aha, there it is. You get a button release for each side. There it is. And I sprung for a Type-C right here, and a Type-A on this side, and then 2 more Type-A's on this side. This Type-C is mostly for charging. These are Thunderbolt capable, so you can get charging on any of these, which is nice. But it kind of stinks that you have to take up one of your precious 4 ports for charging, but it's okay, it's not that big of a deal. I have to admit, these cartridge things are a little gimmicky, but that doesn't mean that I don't love it. I think they're awesome, and I think that if all laptops had something like this, maybe if you had a couple more of them, that'd be cooler. I know they're making the laptop, I believe it's 16, and they're going to have 3 ports per side, which is definitely a bonus. You're going to love those extra ports. I think it's a good feature. It definitely adds a level of customizability that makes it easy to get the laptop the way you want it. I only got 4 of these cartridges when I purchased this laptop. I wish I bought more. I wish I had another few USB-Cs, because it'd be nice to be able to use USB-C devices when I'm charging. So, oh well. And I also kind of wish I got an HDMI. They have that, and they also have Ethernet. That would have been nice to have. So, you know, when you go to buy one of these, I'd suggest buying more of these than you kind of want. So that's one recommendation I have for you. Now, since these are Thunderbolt capable, you can use something like an eGPU with this laptop. You can also use any one of your favorite Dingleberry dongles. So that is one option. If you want a dongle and you want to use this laptop, that is definitely an option. Now, when you have your charger plugged in, it does sit kind of far this way. So it sits a little closer to you than it does on most laptops. That's kind of strange. It's kind of awkward. A lot of laptops have them very near to the edge of the laptop, kind of closer to the screen side. This one sits kind of like right where your leg's going to be. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just one thing to note. One of my favorite parts about this laptop is the customizability. Now, I chose pretty much every component in this laptop the way I spec'd it. It's exactly as I want. I went with a 12th gen Intel Core i5 1240p with a whopping 12 cores. That is insane. And 4 of those are performance cores, the rest are efficiency. The processor has a total of 16 threads and runs at a base speed of 1.7 gigahertz, which is kind of low, but it turbos up to a whopping 4.4 gigahertz. And that is actually quite a bit faster than the turbo speed of my desktop PC. So That's kind of embarrassing. None of the laptop 13s have discrete graphics. Their laptop 16 is going to, I think. So that's one thing that you could consider when you consider buying a framework. But not having discrete graphics is okay for a business device or a school device. Not super great for gaming. This thing struggles for much over 60 FPS in Minecraft. So not the best gaming device, but you know, I didn't buy it to game. I bought it to do work on school. I also spec this laptop with 32 gigs of RAM, which is almost entirely unnecessary, but I wanted it, so I got it. The RAM is DDR4, and it runs at 3200 megatransfers per second. As for storage, we have a 1 terabyte WD Black NVMe drive, and that, as far as I could tell, is ripping fast. I believe it also has a Intel Wi-Fi 6E card, so that's pretty good. Pretty fast Wi-Fi on this thing. Our screen is 13.5 inches at a resolution of 2256 by 1504. So you get that delicious 3:2 aspect ratio. It's a bit more than 1440p, and honestly, I love this screen. It is quite nice to look at. Now, I bought this laptop before the matte display came out for the laptop 13, and I still think I would go glossy. Honestly, I love the premium look that you get with the glossy screen. And I don't care that much about glare. It's never been that much of a problem, especially since I'm using this mostly in a college environment, and usually they have the lights turned off for the projector anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Our refresh rate for this display is 60 Hertz, which is kind of the standard for laptops like this, and Framework advertises that this display covers 100% of the sRGB color gamut. They also advertise greater than 400 nits peak brightness. I have no way to verify these claims, but I can tell you that it gets really bright and the colors look great. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention about this display is the bezel is removable. See that? That's pretty cool, right? It's just held on by some magnets. It's really easy to take off. It doesn't fall off, which is great. And so if your screen ever breaks or your bezel cracks or something, then you can replace the display easily, and they sell all of these parts on their marketplace, on their website. So if you ever need parts for your framework, they've got them. All right, so a little gaming now. We're going to hop into Minecraft, which is objectively the best performance benchmark. And let's see how we do. Let's create a new world. Yeah, whatever. Create a new world. See how long it takes to generate our world here. This is always something that takes a little bit of time, but we're going pretty fast. She's hopping. Oh, I think this might be faster than my desktop. The CPU is definitely faster. Okay. So I'm just playing with the trackpad, you know, and the keyboard. Oh, and the fans are ramping up just a smidge. But so far, performance looks pretty good. The screen is kind of motion, like the motion looks weird on the screen. But I'm not entirely sure. Now you have to remember, I am recording this using OBS in the background. We're getting a solid 60, and I think that's because I have VSync on. Let me turn off VSync. Let's see. This is just regular Minecraft. This isn't any Optifine or anything. Let's see. Max frame rate. Limited. VSync off. Okay. So now we are getting 120, 130 FPS, 88. Yeah. Not bad. And yeah. It's a pretty smooth experience. Again, I think the screen might be a little bit slow, but it's not that big of a deal. It's 60 Hertz refresh rate, and you know, let me turn off the F3 menu. It could just be that like I'm not using a mouse and it feels weird, but I don't know. It works okay. Kill this sheep. I don't know if you've ever tried to play with a trackpad before. Die. Eh. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so Minecraft performance pretty good. The fans ramp up quite a lot. Around 120 when, you know, thereabouts. 120 FPS. So it's a lot better than I thought it was. Still not like amazing for Minecraft, but you know, it's only integrated graphics. So obviously this isn't a gaming laptop because you only have the integrated graphics, but if you need to bang out like a PvP match at work and battle your coworkers, or you need to show your college classmates who the best redstoner actually is, then you can use this for that. And it works quite well, actually. You want a mouse for gaming, but when you're just using this thing as a laptop, it works pretty well with that trackpad. Like I said, it's a glass top trackpad, and it is ultra smooth and silky to the touch, right out of the box. No dry or ultra grubby hands required. You don't have to lube up this trackpad with your nasty fingers or your forehead sweat or anything. Just out of the box experience, fantastic. This trackpad is quite large, especially for the size of this thing. It takes up like a good portion of the area down here. They could have extended it down just a smidge, but that's okay. It's just fine the way it is. I do have one gripe with this trackpad. Left click is a little weird. There's like, you press it down just a smidge, and it does a little clicking sound. I don't know if you can do that. And then you press it all the way, and then it actually registers the click. So that's kind of a weirdness, and you can feel it like when you're like moving the trackpad. It doesn't feel that great. And I think this is a bug, not a feature, because the right click button doesn't have this problem. And when you tap on the right hand side of the trackpad, it feels great. So I don't know. Maybe this is something that I could probably pretty easily look into. I could open it up really easily, and maybe even replace it. I don't know. And I'm not sure if all laptop 13s are like this. I don't know if it's just my trackpad. So I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much, so it's not that big of a deal. Above the trackpad is this keyboard. Really, this keyboard is a nice layout. I get pretty good typing speeds on it. Actually, I'll do a typing test right now. So I'll do this real quick, and then I'll show you the results. Okay, that's actually pretty bad, but I did get 100% accuracy. It's just I'm not great at taking typing tests. It kind of freaks me out, but I have gotten 100 words per minute before. So this is 53. They did me dirty, okay, by giving me a hard one. So, you know, anyway, 53, 100% accuracy. You know, that's not bad. Oh, wait, nope. Actually, it looks like my highest is 63. So it's not that bad. It's pretty good. This keyboard has a nice enough key sound. The key travel is pretty good. Considering how thin this thing is. See how thin that is? But at the end of the day, it's still a membrane laptop keyboard, and it's not the same as a mechanical one that feels like you're like caressing the clouds of heaven or something. We do have a pretty nice layout. One thing I tend to struggle with on keyboards is the key spacing. But this one seems to work fine for me. I wish they could give me a full-size up and down arrow here. But this one, it works fine. There's also no room for a numpad on a 13-inch laptop, so that's to be expected. We have a function row up here. And they have some pretty nice functions. You have your volume controls, the play, pause, and back and forward. You have brightness control. This is a projection button, so you press it, and then it brings up your projection settings. And then you have your airplane mode, print screen, and then this one, which I actually thought was pretty funny the first time I pressed it. If you can see it, yeah, it's a little framework logo, and if you press it, it takes you to their website. So I guess that's kind of useful if you need to, I don't know, make an upgrade or a repair. But I just thought it was kind of funny. Like they have like a shameless self-promotion embedded directly into your keyboard here. So you know it's kind of funny, but you know, whatever. Anyway, all the keys seem pretty consistent to me. As far as I can tell, you know. Stabilization on the keys seems pretty good. I mean, you're still registering K there. They're all pretty consistent. They all seem to fit in their chassis pretty well, so they're not like moving around all over the place. They're kind of snug in there, and it feels really refined overall. No wobble or anything. Oh, and I forgot to mention the power button is a fingerprint reader. So that's pretty nice. Definitely an upgrade over like a pin or and I actually prefer fingerprints to like Windows Hello or whatever. All right, now on to the speakers of this laptop. Now, I don't know who in the world would make their laptop purchase decisions based on the sound quality of a laptop, but I'm gonna do this segment regardless. So these speakers are fine. I'm gonna pull up Crab Rave in the traditional short circuit LTT fashion. Let's find it, and then we'll turn it all the way up, and I'll full screen it. I'll show you guys the beauty. Okay, we're running at 1440p here. This is max volume, by the way. Kind of hard to see. It does actually sound pretty good from where I'm holding it. I think these speakers are down firing. Okay. So in the script, I actually wrote down that they're not like that great, but you know, they actually make me smile. So they're a lot better than I remembered. They're pretty good. They are down firing, so depending on the surface that your laptop's sitting on, they're gonna sound different. But yeah, they actually do sound pretty good. The bass is not amazing. I don't know. They sound pretty good to me. So, you know, they sound a lot better than my previous laptop. The max volume is way better, way louder than HP Pavilion gaming laptop. But yeah, so I guess you won't be disappointed by these speakers. They're I mean, you probably won't be blown away, but you know, they definitely have some kick to them. So they're a lot better than I remember. Another thing I don't think you'll be disappointed by is battery life. So let's see. Here it says I have 30% battery, and it's not giving me an estimate on. Oh, well. Okay, anyway. It's not really giving me an estimate from the remaining battery life anyway, but on a normal school day, I can get usually around 12 hours, which is pretty darn good. People have complained about the battery life in these so much to the point where Frameworks actually engineered a better battery. Like, I think it's 55 on this one and then 61 on the new one. So I have the 55 watt hour battery, and it seems to work just fine. 12 hours of battery, that's plenty enough for me. And you know, that's mostly like word processing, some like coding here and there. So it's pretty good. My old laptop, it would only get like an hour and a half, and that was minimum brightness and battery saver. So it would cripple your processor, and it would make it so you can't see the screen. So this is a lot better. The webcam records at 1080p 60, so I'll actually show you guys that right now. So right now we're recording on the laptop. This laptop mic, 1080p 60 video, and it looks pretty decent even with my crummy lighting. It looks like it adapts pretty well to different lighting. It's pretty crisp. You get a little bit of you see that? That's weird. It does that a little bit, but it's good. The video quality looks pretty good. You can see how nasty my face is right now. I think the microphone sounds okay. You're gonna hear it in the video. I'm not gonna hear it until after the video, so hopefully it's okay. So the last time I checked it, it was good enough for like a video call or whatever. So, you know, the camera quality is obviously good enough for a video call, and I hope the audio quality is good enough. So yeah, you also get these hardware switches. Here, we're gonna get video section here. Yeah. Anyway, next to the camera are some hardware switches. You get a hardware switch for the microphone and a hardware switch for the camera, so that's great. Thumbs up on that. As for pricing, the way I ended up speccing this laptop, I spent just over $1,400 on it. That's for the DIY edition with the base level 12th gen processor, and you know, the things I mentioned earlier. I'll probably try to put them up on screen or whatever. So they're pretty much constantly sold out on their website. And at the time of recording this video, the only price reference I could really see was $850 for the starting price on the 13th gen Intel. And that's a pre-order. And then the same starting price of $850 for the 7040 series AMD chip. Now, it's important to remember that this is the DIY edition, which means that you have to download Windows or whatever other operating system you want. You're going to have to buy RAM, you're going to have to buy storage, cartridges, and whatever power adapter. They do sell all those things right next to the laptop on their website. So when you go to buy it, it'll be like in a list, and you can choose which things you want, or you could just go like on Amazon and get like 60-watt power adapter. You can get all the other things that you need, RAM, whatever. So they do give you that option. If you start with a pre-built, you start at the $1,049 mark, and you have to add on from there. So with savings like that, I think it's kind of hard to justify the pre-built, and really it's kind of easy to put together the DIY edition. So I definitely recommend, if you're going to buy one of these, to go with the DIY edition. It's not that hard. They have guides for putting it together. It's really quite an easy process, and it comes with the tools and everything to do what you need to do. The other thing about getting the DIY edition is if you ever need to make a repair or an upgrade, you have the knowledge that you need to take it apart and put it back together with the new stuff. So you get that kind of intimacy with the device, and it helps you to do whatever you need to do. Now, I was going to do a quick teardown, but I don't have the screwdriver with me right now. There are only 5 screws on the bottom, and then you open it up, and the keyboard portion comes off, the whole assembly on the top here. So it's quite easy to take apart and put together. I just don't have the screwdriver with me right now. And I think, I don't know exactly what kind of screw it is. It's not Phillips. It's like a star. But I'm sure that they have solutions if you lose your screwdriver. I just don't care to take it apart right now, so I'm not going to. So on to the verdict now. In my opinion, this is a really compelling option when you compare it to something like a Mac. The chassis is super nice, and it's pretty rigid. The one thing is though, the screen is a little flexible, and it kind of when you like set it down on your laps and you watch this, like the screen flattens. So the hinge is not the strongest, and I think this is after they upgraded the hinges as well. So it's not the strongest hinge. I'm not afraid of it breaking though, so it should be fine. But when you compare it to something like a Mac, you're not going to break the bank. You know, $1,400 versus what, like $2,500 for a Mac. So I think this is a compelling option. Also, you don't have to deal with Mac OS, which I see as an absolute win. Sorry. You won't get the battery life of a Mac, but you get pretty strong performance in that regard anyway. And if you go with the new battery, you're going to get even better performance. So I love Framework as a company, and I hope they continue to make these amazing laptops. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you guys want to see more tech reviews and stuff of that nature, just let me know by either commenting or clicking the like button. I really do like doing these scripted review videos, so if you guys have anything else for me, just let me know what you want. And I hope you like watching them. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.